Whether it's for efficiency or reputation, design solutions are mainly chosen for their ability to make profit. The thing is, designers can also make discrete decisions that have a strong impact on the experience and therefore appreciation of conventional projects. But as any logical creature should ask, is it worth it to invest in user appreciation through subtle design decisions that only a few will notice but many will experience? Hello creative people, and welcome to Sbjctv Design, the channel where we discuss the pros and cons of design concepts so that designers like ourselves use these concepts in our future projects. My name is Alice, and today's concept is on appreciation. This is the second of two videos that look at how suddenly people come to recognize the worth of a design. Appreciation is the act of recognizing or understanding that something is valuable, important, or as described. And unlike sensationalism that looked at how the benefits of iconic projects are advertised to the public before it's even built, appreciation is about the personal worth that each individual gives to a project based on their own experience or education. But since this is a very subjective idea, what makes something good is continuously changing, and is the reason why artistic movements such as Impressionism or Cubism were named after words that were used to insult what is now considered amazing works of art. That's why I find it interesting that with a lot of abstract art, the goal is to let the viewer decide what the artwork means to them, hence making the worth of the art a very personal matter. This touches on the fact that in design, the goal of the project is not always the same. And so defining good architecture is often a matter of who is answering, because while mass-produced designs are often frowned upon by people like me, they provide anyone with more options for affordable housing. Appreciation is also a matter of what criteria are placed on the success of a project. These are things like objective performance, profit and function, or subjective reactions to emotions, beauty, or social identity. But if we are to harness the potential of discrete solutions, we must also consider the challenges that might affect them. The first of which I've been hinting at already. This is the social influence that prevents designers from creating personal moments of appreciation in their designs. Influence from people that claim that everything has to have a market value, or that a simple change is enough to call the design radical and innovative, or that tell you that right now is not the right time to make a space what it could be. Then again, another challenge is the risk that comes from creating experimental features that don't necessarily rely on market research or quantifiable data, but questionable user values. There is also the issue with funding for firms that are not always hired for their take on experimental solutions, unlike more international firms such as OMA or BIG. And even if you manage to design a successful project with subtle solutions, we also have to consider what the public will appreciate about the design. This issue heavily affects a building's sustainable goals, because even though its mechanical performance is great, its embodied energy makes the project produce unnecessary amounts of greenhouse gases. And we cannot forget the fact that the value of a building relies on who uses it. As in, if the reputation of the owner drops, the public will refuse to acknowledge the worth of this building. Having said that, a world without discrete solutions where only overly efficient and profitable solutions exist are difficult to appreciate. To give you an idea of what I mean, just imagine that you're dealing with chronic health issues. You decided to get treatment at the Historic Wellness Center because of its reputation. The problem is that when the place was designed, the focus was on the efficiency for the staff, and the aesthetic simply pleases a popular style at the time. For you as a patient though, getting healthcare is a stressful experience that literally gives you a headache. Been there. But you also feel isolated and depressed because you don't have many people to talk to or things to do while you wait. I mentioned that the center is historic because we often place a lot of importance on heritage buildings. This is a crucial factor when you consider that conventional projects are often designed with only the present in mind and not what the project will become in the future. This is where clever design solutions shine. After all, what makes a project valuable is the impact it had on the users, regardless of how humble it is. For instance, through its reliable usefulness, or its ability to develop a passionate community and meaningful quality of life. The impact of these designs can also be described by how they engage the user's senses. This is because while many experiences rely on what we see, what makes them memorable is how they make us feel. For me, this is the sense of wonder when I experience something new, or the fear and discomfort when interacting with a design. Similarly, I remember the locations where I struggle or don't with the acoustics of a space. This also brings up the instances when users interact with a space in the sense that they change the importance of the design. For example, think of the lively plazas, emotional theaters, and supportive community spaces that without the people as key performers would just be a waste of effort and resources. And even though it's often difficult to ensure that people do what you hope they'll do, as designers we consider and implement solutions that make the design special for the target users. So, is it worth it to invest in user appreciation through subtle design decisions that only a few will notice but many will experience? Well, yes, because these are the decisions that attain personal and cultural significance, or that lead to innovative solutions for which people appreciate how they raise the standard of performance, quality of life, and user experience. But what do you think? Should designers make these solutions more obvious to everyone? Make sure you leave a comment below. Bye. Thanks for watching another episode of Sbjctv Design. If design runs in your veins, don't forget to subscribe for more discussions. You can also follow me on Instagram for updates and related content. The music was produced by my friend 𝗬𝗶𝗿 𝗩𝗂𝗍. You can visit him on Instagram to listen to more of his music.